In about a month, I'll cross a certain chronological landmark in terms of age. So today I am posing this question to myself and also to you. Should I make YouTube my full-time job and career? So let's explore it together. So if you had asked me this question about 3 years ago, I would probably have said no, because I had a satisfying career. I was in the classroom. I was teaching, mentoring students. But that part of my life is over. And there are quite a few things that preclude me from ever getting back into a college classroom, my age being one of the factors. But I do love teaching, and I love explaining things, academic, scholarly, and philosophical. But obviously you can't just keep explaining those things to yourself, and that's where YouTube has been crucial for my spiritual, mental health, but also in helping me share whatever little I know with you and so many people from around the world. And that is why I decided today to pose this question to myself, but also to you, to seek your guidance, your support, and your ideas as to whether or not we should make this, what I do on YouTube, as a full-time career. So let me explain some of the reasons. So in the last few years, I have applied to a lot of jobs. I don't want to give you a number here, but most of the jobs were in my field of study, and I had the expertise and experience for them. There were usually two kinds of responses to my applications. One was a straight no, obviously generated by an algorithm and all, and that I can clearly attribute to my age, right? Now, I already knew that getting back into American Academy is absolutely almost impossible at my age. Yes, of course, you can do adjunct labor and teach a course here and there, but to re-enter as a full-time faculty member at any institution, in a way, I think is beyond my reach. The second kind of response that I usually got was actually from the people who had read my applications, and a couple of institutions did interview me. But I realized in those interviews that part of what I was trying to do was trying to convince the committees that I'm still relevant, right? That maybe I have something to offer that they might find useful. But there too, I realized that maybe there is so much of me available in the public domain that no matter what I say, part of the way any committee would look at me would be, if they have time, by looking at what I have done in the public sphere. So that means that even if I present something, a persona, which is genuinely me, but also as suitable to their institution, things that I might have written or said or recorded, even on this channel, might not match their criteria. I had another option, of course, also to apply to institutions in my country of origin, which is Pakistan. But there too, of course, people prefer local scholars, and you need a lot of contacts in the academia or in the government to actually get a kind of job where you can do your best. But these were some of the reasons that stymied my attempts at re-entering academia. Now, I'm not resentful, and I do not ever will say that people are not fair. I think people are fair, but they are looking for what they are looking for, and maybe I am not that. So over these holidays, I gave myself some time to reflect on this. Obviously, I have something to contribute, whatever little I know, and I love to teach and write. Writing I can do anytime in my own time. Teaching requires me being in a classroom where people are willing to learn. And if I cannot do that, then YouTube has been and is the ultimate platform for me, because here I can teach, I can discuss literary texts, I can discuss political texts, I can discuss politics, and I have an audience, that is you. People ask me questions, I try to respond them. So other than not being able to be in a physical classroom, what I do on YouTube or what I have done so far is deeply important to me because it allows me still to be a teacher. And there are no constraints other than time maybe and recording and editing. Now, can this be my full-time job or a career? I'm not sure. Obviously, you, me, and everyone else, we live in this world, right? It is driven by capitalism. We all have to make a living. Quite a few people are successful on YouTube, but I'm not sure how many people who have educational channels can actually make a living through YouTube. I'm not saying I plan to do that, but this channel already has 1,100 public videos. About 1,000 of them, other than the announcements and all, are educational videos. The channel has 65,000 subscribers. So my idea is that if I start putting in more effort into this channel, and if you all come along and support me, and support doesn't necessarily mean financial support. If you respond to the videos, comment on them, ask questions, it might enable me to build this channel into kind of an educational hub where at least what I know or learn every day about humanistic education can be made available to a wider audience. And maybe it might then enable me to sustain this life and support my family as well. That's the general idea, and I will try it this year in 2025. Now, of course, how can you help me? As I just said, if you just share the videos, comment on them, watch them, that's already sufficient to help this channel figure prominently on YouTube. If you want to go beyond that, the channel already has memberships enabled. You can just take a look at the membership tab and see how best you can support the channel. I also have courses that I've created. They are on Udemy. Sometimes they are listed under the videos. You can take one of my courses. I also plan to offer this year maybe some live courses. Maybe nothing deep, but maybe introduction to postcolonial studies, introduction to literary theory, and maybe you'll be interested in that. The announcements will come later, but just let me know in the comments if you'll be interested in any of those. Now, the channel also has some merchandise. I've never really pushed it, but every video below it has the channel merchandise. That's another way you can support the channel and my efforts. Now, please keep in mind, it is really hard for me to act as a salesperson. That's not instinctively how I think. The way I think is in terms of sharing, and in terms of sharing my ideas, my experience, my expertise as widely and as freely as possible. But the constraint on that, of course, is that we live in this world, right? And in this world, we have to work or we have to make a living. So that's what I have been thinking about. Now, obviously, I'm going to try it this year. It may not succeed, but I would really, really appreciate your help in making this into something viable, into something that I can do for as long as I can think clearly and live and breathe, and for as long as I can offer whatever little I know to the world. So please watch this video, share your thoughts, any ideas that you think could help me in achieving this goal of making this YouTube channel into something that reaches more people and helps me in terms of a new job or a career. I'll really appreciate that. Meanwhile, please pass it on to others. But more importantly, please do share your ideas and thoughts. And I'm deeply, deeply grateful to all of you for your support throughout these years. It has meant a lot to me, and it means a lot to me. And I am really thankful for that. That's all. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you next time. Until then, as always, peace and love.